Just buff Shadow Shaman. That's it. That's all I want. 10-year anniversary, buff Shadow Shaman. I'm happy. I don't
make a big banner about it. Like the Shadow Shaman.
Yeah, you can.
I don't know why, but I thought your answer would be ruined by life.
How has Dota grown over 10 years? I mean, the game has continually been made more complex, which I think is cool. Because I think there was definitely a route where Valve could have tried to have simplified things about the game to make it more user-friendly or new user experience-friendly. And they basically just said, nah, you. We're going to make it even more complicated. So now the barrier to entry is probably impossibly high, which I think people have to understand too. But I think that's also what makes Dota Dota. So I think the player base will, become more casual, but I think the viewer experience becomes more interesting as well. And I think it continually ups the bar for the competitive scene in terms of how good you have to be to win a Dota LAN, like how much more you have to do. I was actually thinking about this the other day, like if you compare what a Dota pro has to think about now in a game of Dota, or even us as casters, which is what I was thinking about it, compared to 10 years ago. It's like night and day, right? You go back to CI1, there's like 20 heroes with 80 spells and like 20 items, and the most you're going to call in a team fight is like, oh, someone blinked Black Hold and they countered with Ravage and they stunned him and they right-clicked him down and he died. That's like a team fight, like literally, right? And now there's like talents and shards and tormentors and all this weird wacky itemization that gets added every new month that is like half broken and doesn't even work properly, and 5-acts and where you can TP and where you can't envision. There's just so much that goes on in a team fight. Like, I think any given team fight probably has 100, 200 different interactions. So it makes, one, as a pro, you have to have the mental space to think about all those things to perform at the highest level, which I think is cool.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, two, for the casters, it's also interesting because it pushes you to get better at casting. Otherwise, you're not going to be calling the right things or focusing on the right part of the fight. And you need to understand all that's going on so you can pick the right stuff to call out, which I think is also interesting that people take for granted.
Yeah, I just remember like playing Dota 1 competitively, and I played support and there was nothing to do because there wasn't, like, people didn't come up with the concept of pulling. Like, I was playing at a point where jungling was like a relatively new thing that like some random Danish guy called Melt came up with the concept of jungling. And it was like, so as support, you literally just laned. That's all you did. There was nothing else to do. And people didn't even roam that much because I think heroes were slower and the map felt pretty big, or I don't know. There was probably less value to roaming around back then, but they were just bad. Yeah, that is true. So there was just like nothing to do. Now every minute there's some new objective, right? There's like, I think the first, what is it, like minute 5? Is there anything in minute 5?
Catapults.
So it's not until minute 11 that there's not an objective to think about, right? Because otherwise it's just bounty runes, power runes, lotuses, and catapults all like happening. And in minute 42, you get a whole bunch of it all at once. Wisdom runes at 7. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Probably Aghanim's Labyrinth. I think Aghanim's Labyrinth, I hold it to very high esteem because I think it was a way for you to play Dota without like actually committing to a competitive element of Dota, and also maybe not the same time commitment. And there is no fear factor for people who haven't played Dota before or haven't played in a while. You know, I hear this a lot. I know I don't experience it personally, but people say, like, I get so much ranked anxiety. Like, when I go into matchmaking, I get anxiety because, like, it's a pretty heavy commitment. You could do really badly, and that's going to be a miserable time for 45 minutes, potentially. And I think Aghanim's Labyrinth was a really good way to be able to bring old players and new players back into an environment that is Dota-like, and kind of gets them thinking about Dota again. So honestly, I think they should bring that back. I think it was one of the best marketing tools for Dota and one of the best like new player experiences.
Just buff Shadow Shaman. That's it. That's all I want. 10-year anniversary, buff Shadow Shaman. I'm happy.
They make a big banner about it, like the Shadow Shaman.
Yeah, you can make it a big thing, It can be like a huge thing, and then the actual buff is like plus 10 damage on Shackle.
Yeah.
Like, okay, we good. Like,
they add one more service to his list on his back.
That's true.
It's like 10 gold.
And the con man's repertoire.
Yeah.
Yeah, just, some small support buffs. I think I'm too much of a Dota purist. I don't care about these custom games. I don't care about the cosmetics. I don't care about some fancy game modes. Who cares? You want to play fancy game mode? That's what Steam Library is for, you know? You can go down and search there. Gabe has given you tens of thousands of games. You can go play something. Dota is for Dota. So if they keep improving Dota, I'll be happy. I'll take that.
The road to improving Dota is buffing Shadow Shaman. Okay.
I mean, it would help. It's a start. I'm just saying. Ice Frog. He needs some help. Man needs some help out here.